Good morning, guys. We made it up here to San Francisco and we are getting ready for LUFT. It is the morning of. The car did great on the drive up. I'm really happy with it. It's fun to drive. I mean, it's what I thought it would be, so that's a really good start. Happy with the way it looks, and obviously there's a lot of things I want to change about it. Today is going to be all about older air-cooled cars, but tomorrow is air and water, which I'll be really excited about because this is a water-cooled car. So hopefully I'm going to find some good ideas for this car at the show tomorrow. But today we're going to go check out some incredible classic Porsches. So I'll bring you guys along with me and see what we can find out. All right, guys, we're here at Lyft Loading. You can see so many cars already here just waiting to pull in. But over here, there's something that's not a Porsche. Somebody's got an R34 GTR here with them. What does it say? Honestly, no, you didn't spend your youth dreaming about owning a Nissan or Mitsubishi, and the answer is yes. Yeah, all right, cool. Well, it's a white R34 on Nismo LMGTs, and cool, dude. All right, while all these cars get ready to come in, we're gonna hop inside and see the car that we brought. Hopefully it's inside already. All right, and we're in. See lots of cars right here along the waterfront, which looks really cool. And it's a nice, brisk, cool day here. But there'll be everything from race cars to show cars to cars that people drove up here today. Let's take a look around. All right, so we are inside at the moment, and this is a massive warehouse where they used to build like submarines or ships or something, but got some incredible cars here. The Gunther Works. These cars are wild. Very modernized, but still have that kind of classic look to them. And next to it, I'm guessing this has got to be like a PTS 964. It's a crazy all purple interior. One thing worth pointing out on this car is if you look at the bumper, it's a little different. It doesn't have that kind of weird accordion thing that a lot of the US 964s have. So we import some of these cars for people that want the European spec car, because it gets rid of that ugly kind of accordion bumper kind of thing that you tend to see on a lot of these. So this would have been either a European delivery car or somebody went out of their way. You get the European bumpers, which do fit a much bigger plate, obviously, but get rid of that ugly accordion thing, and we'll bump over to one right now so I can show you the difference. So this is what I'm talking about. You see that piece there, and then again in the back, you have this kind of weird piece right there. Something that the US cars have that the Euro cars don't. That's why people like to import them. All right, so moving through here. Again, huge warehouse filled with Porsches. Racing cars here. Some more 964s. This one is really interesting because it has one of my favorite interiors. It's called a Porsche interior. It's just kind of like a unique checkerboard seats. Oftentimes you'll see them on the side panels and stuff as well. This one looks like it doesn't have that. One of the more interesting displays here is this giant Porsche model box. So it looks like a model car. You can see it says 1:1 scale car instead of 1:64. And that's because they have the rest of the car right here, along with everything that you would need to build the car as if it was a model, which is a pretty cool installation to see. All right, guys, so we're outside moving around, and came across a car I really like the color of. It's like, it's blue, but it's like a black blue, almost like a black blue chrome. Porsche people are gonna massacre me for saying that because I'm sure it's a really special technical color. But I really like the color of this car. It would be on my list of ones I wanted if I were to get a 993 someday. And right here is a tractor. For those of you that don't know, Porsche used to make tractors, much like Lamborghini. And this one looks like it's probably pretty expensive to have restored it. But who'd have thought you were gonna see a tractor in an air-cooled show? Good morning, guys. We are here for the start of day 2, which is air, water. So you can see we've got some 997s here, 991s, even some Caymans. So today is about cars that are not air-cooled. So we're gonna see some more modern things, which I'm excited about. And let's get into it. Start inside with the first showing, which is, of course, super cool. It is Ken Block's Unicorn Porsche. All right, guys, we are inside of the air water event. So this is open to all sorts of different types of Porsches, not just this one, air-cooled stuff. So this is really rad. This is like the perfect family SUV. It's like a Sportback Taycan Turbo S. These are pretty quick, and you can fit some stuff in them. Naturally, one of my favorite cars here is this 997 GT3 RS. in gray black. They call it gray black because it's gray right now, but as it gets darker, the paint really starts to look black, which is pretty unique to this specific paint coat of this car. Of course, some race cars in this one too. This is the 24-hour Le Mans car, 997, Flying Lizard Motorsports, pretty famous racing team. So the car looks so rad. Makes me kind of want to do this to my car. So really no surprise at this point that I like silver cars. This 991 is no exception. See how it's got the black on the front? This is something that is a bit of a vintage nod, but something they do more now because the yellowing that happens on the clear gets to be a bit annoying. So what I actually did on mine is I wrapped it in silver PPF to put that there, so it just totally matches the car. But on this case, the black looks cool because it's tied in from up there and down there and on the bottom. So really like this color on this car, and to have, man, a modern silver car would be so sick. GT4, we got a GT3, we got a Turbo S, and then stepping into a color that's not silver that I really like is this Jade. Here's another really great car. These older Porsche race cars are so sick. This one says Canop on it, so I'm guessing this is one of Bruce's cars, but pretty cool to see. Right next to it is a newer iteration of this car. This is the Porsche 963 racing car, which is pretty wild. This is something that we actually just watched race recently. So cool to see. Continuing on with the racing cars, here is an IMSA 911. It's pretty cool that they left all of the dirt and tire marks and everything on the car. It's pretty cool to see what it looks like after after it finishes a race. But man, this thing has to be so wild to drive. A big part of the Porsche events are the colors. So this one, Ruby, Ruby Stone, pretty popular. This one is a new GT4 RS. I'm not sure what this color is, but it is pretty rad. It's like a blue, but it's also kind of like a green. Pretty cool to start seeing these GT4 RSs popping up. All right, before the music from Men in Black kicks in too hard here in the background, this is a GT3 RS. So these are really desirable because the United States did not get them. So you can find them in Japan, you can find them in Europe. They were never offered here in the United States. So it's a 996, but it is a GT3 RS. The first GT3 RS introduced in the United States was the 997, which is why those are pretty cool. But this is kind of something that we never got here. So pretty rad to see one here. More and more of these are starting to show up as they just turned 25 years old this year, so you can import them now. All right, we've got a winner. So this 997, I really like. This is the bumper that I'm thinking of switching to. You can see the fog light doesn't wrap all the way around, so this is a .2 bumper, and he's got a nice little lip down there, which is pretty cool. It's got the Carrera stripe down the side, which I think is a pretty cool touch. It definitely makes the car look a little bit more nostalgic and vintage. It's also got the classic wheels on there, which I think look great. But my number one thing about this car is this duckbill. I want to do this to my car pretty bad. I think it gives it a nice touch and gets rid of the kind of steppy rear back look that these cars tend to have from the factory. So yeah, this is a really nicely done car. Shout out to whoever owns this thing. Tons of inspiration for me right here. All right guys, on that note, we're gonna wrap it up here and start heading back to SoCal. But man, this car has given me a ton of inspiration. So pretty cool to see that. That's exactly what I came to this event for, was to see what other people are doing with their cars, see if I can get any idea of what I do and don't like when I see it on a car. And in general, it's been cool to meet a whole bunch of other people that are in this community, since I'm so usually looped into the JDM scene. But I will say, I did see a lot of Japanese car customers here, some of our own customers, some other people that own JDM import stuff. So the crossover seems to be real. So hopefully we'll be back at this event next year with my car in it and a whole bunch of cool mods to make it stand out a little bit more. All right guys, heading back to SoCal, and we'll see you in the next one.